I'm giving this to you under duress. I don't feel like that I shouldn't be allowed to be here. I believe it's probably the park down here and this road's fine.
Okay. You're 40 years old and don't know your social security number? Nope. I need a document that I talk to you and update our system if you're not in it. I need your phone number.
I don't have a phone number.
Okay. Okay, there's signs posted in every entrance.
That way and this way. Down there. You keep pointing from down there. I was going this direction.
Okay, you're not allowed to be here after hours.
Okay. The body camera footage is meant to be there for court. That's why we're paying for it. But when it's not in the police's favor or the government's favor, all of a sudden it's not allowed?
I don't understand why, other than that it's a money machine and they're trying to get my money. I don't think...
What's going on, guys? It's Early Product News. I got a good one for you today. Joe Kyser went out to spend time with his son to try their new electric skateboards. The younger Kyser just turned 18 and got his first real job. The weather was nice and their attitudes were upbeat. That was until Canine Officer Vigera from the West Deptford, New Jersey Police Department came. He immediately starts demanding IDs, and if you listen, he switches back and forth saying, "You were in the park," to "You were on the access road to the park." The officer let his ego get involved and watched what happens. If you think that is crazy, wait till you hear what the judge ruled in court. Watch to the end. It is most definitely worth it. And subscribe to Joe Kyser. Link in the description. Tell him Disorderly Product News
sent you. You can't be down here. The park's closed.
Can't be down where?
At the Township Park.
Oh, okay.
Where you're at.
Oh, turn around.
Close at 10 o'clock. I need your IDs.
I don't have ID. Am I being detained?
Yeah, you are.
For what?
Because you're in a Township Park after hours.
This is a park right here?
Yes, this is the access road to the Township Park.
I didn't see any signs or nothing down here.
There's signs posted.
Down there? I haven't been down there yet.
Okay.
I've only come right to this point.
Okay. You have nothing with your name. Okay. You have nothing with your name on?
No.
Okay. Do you have a New Jersey license? You don't have it on you?
No. Have I committed a crime? Do you suspect I committed a crime?
Yeah, you're in Township Park after hours, and you could get.
This is a park
Yes,
here?
you could get a summons.
Park's down here.
This is the access road to the park. This is Township property.
This isn't a public road here.
This is a Township road, and you're going towards the Township Park after hours.
Is this road closed? That's what I'm
asking.
Yes.
I need your ID.
All right. I don't have ID.
Okay, I need your name.
Kyser, K-Y-S-E-R.
That's your last name?
Yep. Joseph.
Middle initial? You a junior or third or anything?
Nope.
What's a good address for you?
I don't have a good address.
Where would you get mail?
No. 066. I'm giving this to you under duress. I don't feel like that I shouldn't be allowed to be here. I believe it's probably the park down here and this road's fine.
Okay. How old are you, Joe?
I just want to let you know.
You're 40 years old and don't know your social security number?
Nope. What's your phone number?
Yeah.
Why, do I have to give you that?
Yeah, I need a document that I talk to you and update our system if you're not in it. I need your phone number.
I don't have a phone number.
Okay. County 122 by info when you're ready.
It's crazy.
Paying fines on anything anywhere?
I'm not answering any more questions.
Okay. You'll be getting a summons in the mail then. If you want to play, I'm doing my job.
Anything.
Okay, you're giving me a hard time for doing my job.
Do I have to do that? No.
Okay, you're right.
You don't come help me when I'm doing my job, dude. Come on. There's no reason to even bother me right now.
What do you do for a living?
It's none of your business, really.
Okay, then how do you know I don't help you when you're doing your job?
Because I know you don't. Believe me.
Okay.
Take a couple lessons from the Paulsboro cops. They don't do this kind of shit.
Stay in Paulsboro then.
Stay in Paulsboro then, huh?
If you don't like how West Deptford does things, stay in Paulsboro.
That's real cute. And I'll go wherever I want to.
Okay.
It's a free country.
It is. But unfortunately, this is a township road that
I didn't know this was private. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I missed those signs. I told you that.
Okay, there's signs posted in every entrance.
That
way and this way.
Down there. You keep pointing from down there. I was going this direction.
Okay, you're not allowed to be here after hours. Okay?
told me that.
And if you want to keep giving me an attitude,
me I'm
I'll
not
give you
allowed
a
to be
summons.
right
Do you
here.
want a summons for being in the township park after hours?
You can do whatever you feel like
Okay.
doing. Just for an attitude? That's why you're going to give me a summons? Oh, okay.
Well, that's my discretion. I could give you a
It
warning,
is your discretion.
and I could give you a summons.
Then give me the summons.
Okay.
Man, there's no need for this.
There's no need for you guys to be in the township park at 2:30 in the morning either.
No? Why?
No, because they close at 10 o'clock.
I didn't know roads close at 10. I missed that sign.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Wasn't aware of it.
Now you are. We get people down here all the time, and we just say, all right, park closed at 10 o'clock. Move along. But
Did you say that? No.
no,
you
because
come
you're
down
giving me
here
an
and say,
attitude.
"Your ID."
Because you're giving me an attitude.
Let's
Yeah, and
Let's just de-escalate this.
and we
It's not
ID
all.
everybody. We ID
Alright?
everybody.
Does that make it right?
Yeah, you're in a township park
That
after
makes it
hours.
right that you
Yes,
ID
you're in
everybody.
violation of a municipal
I
ordinance.
didn't know this was a park. This does not look like a park to me. I had no suspicion that I was in a township park after hours. All right?
Okay.
None. Zero.
Okay. And now I'm telling you, and that's why I need your identification, because
Alright,
you're in
this doesn't
violation.
make sense.
Because you're in violation of a law.
All right. It's fine.
What's going on, guys? It's sort of the practical news here. I'm here with one Joe Kyser. Joe Kyser is a gentleman out of New Jersey who I have been friends with and been watching for a while. Joe, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. How about yourself?
That's not bad, but I can't call it. Joe, I was thinking of a way to describe you. This is Joe, and he is an auditor. He's an entrepreneur. What is the best way to describe your channel? Your channel is Joe Kyser, Kyser. What is, how would you describe it if you had to describe it?
Well, honestly, I mean, that's like a tough one. I'm not your typical content creator. Most content creators, when you think of a content creator on YouTube, you think of someone who has a focus on their channel and they're making content. And yeah, exactly. You're in the narrow, and you're really going for views and trying to get seen. That's the point. You're creating entertainment. And I've never really had that like drive for that. Being in e-commerce, it's helpful, content creation. I've made a lot of money off of YouTube. I mean, you'd look at my channel and you'd think, but it's not necessarily from ad revenue. I've made it in other ways. It's helped my business more than I could ever like. I'm not even gonna tell you numbers because you think I'm BSing, but it's been such a help.
I'm sorry. The series, is it American Police? What's it called?
Was
Real
it
Police. Real World
World
Police.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Real World Police. Everybody that's on YouTube, you guys have seen this. It's Real World Police. They put their watermark right at the bottom. And I woke up one morning and it says stubborn New Jersey cop versus stubborn New Jersey men. And I saw the thumbnail, and Joe always has this red hair bandana on. Just because of that, I'm like, dude, that's Joe. And I put it on. And one thing you know about Joe, it says I talked to him, he is a very, very relaxed. He is not high strung. I'm high strung. So I naturally gravitate towards people that are not high strung. What happened in the end is absolutely ridiculous. It's mind boggling how it ended the way it is. And Joe, can you take us through what happened that day?
Sure. Well, my son and I, okay, first of all, it was really, really late at night. It's not something that I was trying to hide, and it sounds unusual. And I think the prosecution wanted to they did use that against me. For me, it was normal. My son just turned 18, just got his first real job, works his butt off and all. I work all night normally. I do a lot of my work at night, and I just have a little different sleep pattern. So we were out 3 a.m. in the morning. That's what we chose to spend time together and go out and ride our electric skateboards. We went out. We didn't have any where we wanted to go in particular. I had my camera with me, as I always do. I had some ideas in my head and maybe some footage I wanted to shoot for later on down the road, some B-roll, because I take a lot of B-roll just to have it, right? So we're out riding our electric skateboards. We go into the town next door. There's this community there called Riverwinds. It's a golf course, and they have a restaurant, and there's all sorts of like nice little nature trail, you know, amenities. And there's some homes back there and all. And I know that's like real lit. So we went into town. We said, you know what? Let's turn into here. There's probably not going to be many people out here. We'll be safe. It'll be lit. My camera will work. And it's a nice, long, straight shot through this community, like a flat as could be, beautiful. So everything made sense. Let's do it. We're riding. All of a sudden, I thought I saw headlights, you know, from this way. Very cognitive when I'm riding. I turn around. Sure enough, headlights. I'm like, ooh, ooh. And turn around again. I'm like, it's a cop. I just keep going. He ain't got his lights on or nothing. I just keep going. Well, he pulls up real quick. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like I was supposed to stop when I saw him.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts. That's where the video starts. You see him. He got out of his car. It's pretty much his body cam's pretty much the whole video. Got out of his car. Says, can I have some ID? Right away, my instincts kick in like, we're not doing anything wrong. Just like that.
Yeah.
Bang. We're not doing anything wrong. I just want to ask a question. What's the crime? Why were we pulled over? Like, why are you stopping us? And why are you asking for my paperwork? Simple question that I think any American should be entitled to. And I think any cop should just simple. It's just simple.
Yeah.
So he's like, ID, you're in the park. He comes out with, you're in the park. And then again, I'm like, the park. I'm like, we're on a road riding. Like, where's he get parked from? Like, I know I'm not in a park. And so it kind of like, it started to sink in that this guy's just, no matter what's going to happen, he's getting my ID. I'm getting locked up. Like, nothing good's going to come out of it. I identify myself. So there's the crime or the ordinance offense. It's not even a misdemeanor. It's not a 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's just a town ordinance. There's the offense. I have to ID myself. I didn't have ID on me, but I verbally gave him my ID. And that's just pretty much the premise of the video. As I'm doing it, though, I had another question, like, what park are we in? Like, and he says, there's signs at the entrance of the park, obviously.
Yeah.
Because we haven't come to the sign, which he admitted to, that, is the entrance to the park.
Yeah.
So the whole thing blew my mind, like, what's going on? So it kind of sounds ridiculous that I asked for a ticket, but I wanted to make sure that I was going to get my day in court, and I don't know what I was thinking, honestly.
No, I honestly thought that was the best idea. I thought that was the best idea.
I was like, I want my summons for this. Like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was with you 100% there.
When you're in the situation, it's so easy to watch a YouTube video and watch somebody else stick up for their rights. It looks so easy. It looks so much
yes, of course.
This is what you should have did. This is what I would have said. But until you're in that situation, you have the adrenaline. I don't know about you. Cops make me nervous. They just do. Not that I feel like they're necessarily going to kill me every time I come across them, but they make me nervous. I never know what's going to happen.
You're leery.
I don't know how my rights are going to be violated. And then I'm going to have to stick up for myself, which I don't mind doing. I don't mind, I can communicate with people, which is another thing that gets me about the cop. I'm good with people. We can communicate. We can understand each other. He could easily just had some communication with me. We could have been nice. Honestly, the way I thought it should have went is, as soon as he told me, he asked for ID, and he says, well, because you're in a park, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, first he told me I was in a park or something like that. I said, I'll turn around and leave.
Yeah.
I kind of thought, even if I was in a park, he should have used his discretion and been like, all right, be on your way then.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he had to ID me. He had to get my ID. He wanted my ID. In the state of New Jersey, it's a law that if a police officer stops you, there has to be a ticket proceeding. It sounds ridiculous. But I urge anybody to look that up. If a police officer,
say it again.
If they stop an ID, if it's a stop an ID, I'm not in a vehicle.
Okay.
Cop just comes up to me. Can I have your ID? There has to be a ticket that precedes that. There has to be a summons. There has to be a ticket. There has to be something that precedes that. It's the law. He has to give it to me.
So there has to be a ticket that he stops you and asks you for ID, and then.
So I knew by him asking me for ID that there indeed he is alleging there's a crime going on, or I thought a crime. I didn't realize maybe it could have been an ordinance violation. That's like separate. I thought ordinance violations were misdemeanors. I learned a little bit in the process. It's closed at 10 p.m. And I said that down there where we're headed to, that entrance, that sign that says 10 p.m. That we haven't even passed yet, that we have, where the entrance of the park is. So we didn't enter the park yet, obviously.
So is New Jersey a stop and ID state?
No.
Okay, so now this is what I want to ask you. That's real world police. So but I was just saying, because what a stop and ID state means, I think everybody on the internet, that they get pulled over in like Texas or something, and the cop automatically asks for their ID, and the person says, well, this is not a stop and ID state. Well, there's nowhere in America that's a stop and ID state in that sense. A stop and ID state means that the cop has reasonable suspicion that a crime is being committed, was committed, or is about to be committed. Now, that's different from a non-stop and ID state in which the bar is higher to get your ID, which is probable cause. But probable cause is the same threshold they need to meet to arrest you, so you're going to jail anyways. It's only called a stop and ID state because they can stop you and let you go. But in a non-stop and ID state, it's probable cause is the threshold, so you're going to jail anyways. But now, was that officer by himself?
He called backup, or I don't know if he called backup, but backup did come. So there's a second body camera as well from another officer that was there that didn't say 2 words. He didn't have anything to say, like nothing to say. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but he just stood there.
So there was no camera crew. It wasn't like Cops where he jumped out with a camera crew or anything. It was just his body camera footage that made real. And I think that's what all real world police is. I think it's all body camera footage.
And the way and how I found out what real world police does is in New Jersey, somebody built an Oprah system where you can go on and you can file an Oprah request through their system, and it keeps a public record of it. Whatever they send, it keeps a public record of as well. So I did my Oprah request through that webpage. Real World Police monitors the webpage. Not only did I get the information, but they got the information too. So that's why they put, they got a video and was like, oh, this is good. I'm going to put this out.
Well, what does Oprah stand for?
Okay, that's a good question.
Are you saying OPRA?
OPRA. I forget.
Office of Police Responsibilities and Actions. But when you did that request, are you talking about the tickets that they showed at the end of the video?
I requested those tickets. Yep. I requested them. Yep.
Go ahead.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
There's something funny in that, and I forget what it was, but you're seeing the thing. It says 5'11", 180 pounds, hair brown, hazel, and then it says eyes, and in the box of eyes it says 2. Like the officer wrote 2, that he has 2 eyes. Now I forget what it was. I was dying laughing.
It's a code in New Jersey for brown.
Yeah, see that's what they explained to me. In like, there was a lot of people in the comment section. They were dying laughing, and then other people were like, "No, that's the code for brown." I'm like, dude, did he really just? They asked eyes, and he put 2. So
Oprah stands for Open Public Records Act.
Okay. Okay, and that's
and
just for the state. That's a state act.
you could find no, Oprah's like it's a federal thing. Oh no,
Oh,
no, each state has their own act. Yeah, New Jersey has one.
yeah. In my state, we use FOIA.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. It's the same.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured.
If you go to oprahmachine.com, that's where the web page is. If anybody wanted to look at it, because there's a lot of cool stuff on there, and there's a lot of stuff on there about auditors, emails back and forth between police stations, and there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So the officer went off. Now, understand this. At first, the officer says, you're in the park. And you go, this road is a park? He goes, well, it's a township road. Okay, well, then it's not the park. It's a road that leads into the park. Now, now the officer keeps on saying there's signs there. And he keeps on pointing this way. And Joe goes, I don't know why you keep on pointing that way. I didn't come from that way. I came from that way, and there's no signs over there. And the officer doesn't say anything because he knows there are no signs over there. So if you haven't even made it to the point to the park where it's closed, the reason they have a sign there is to let people know that the park is closed. So Joe and his son get to the sign. It says closed at 2 a.m. Joe, the good citizen as he is, okay, son, we can't go in there. We have to turn around and go.
Absolutely. I wouldn't. Look, I never been all the way back that section. I was unfamiliar with it. But had I come to this park with a sign that said closed at 10 p.m., you better believe I wouldn't have been in the damn park. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have gone past it because that's stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But the way they made it look in court, it was a planned thing. I got caught. I didn't have my filming permit. I mean, it was.
So, let's say your wife calls you and she needs you for something. You turn around and go. There are 3 things that make something a crime. Did it happen? What was the intent? And did those 2 things act in concert? So you may be able to say that he had intent, but you can't say that the crime ever happened because he never entered the park, right?
You know, part of the problem with this, right, and all that makes sense, okay? All that makes sense, and it's arguments in court. What I learned when I went to court, and the judge, like, he gave me, I guess, enough information. Like, you know, they can't give, you know, they can't give you advice and all that, but he kind of told me a little bit about it. With an ordinance, the judge doesn't need to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And he literally said that. All he needs to do is take facts and make a judgment. And then he's allowed to roll off of that, which makes it super hard to try to appeal his judgment. There's only so many ways you can get an appeal. And the judge worked, you know, he made sure that I couldn't get an appeal. Let's put it that way. When, you know, like you could appeal maybe for them not letting you give some information or some evidence that is viable to the case. You know, say, okay, so like the body camera video, of course I'm going to submit that as evidence, right? Which they allowed it. Why wouldn't they? Because if they didn't allow it, then gives me grounds for appeal, right?
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't allowed to use it in the case. If I wanted to use it, there had to be a point argued to use it, and then the judge would decide. And no matter what reason I gave, it wasn't allowing for me to use the video as evidence. We can only go by.
So they didn't see the video in court?
Nope.
Wait, the body camera footage the officer had was not shown in court?
Nope. I couldn't come up with a good enough reason to review the body camera. Look, it's like the judge was working with the prosecutor not to show this footage. Like, I did go to court. I did go to court 3 times, right? After the first time, I realized no matter what I did and what I said and what happened, that I wasn't going to win this case.
Yeah, I remember you saying, because we were emailing back and forth.
It was a hard thing to gulp down, but you know, trust me, it was a real hard thing to gulp down.
I know, because we talked about it.
I put a lot of time into how things would go and everything, and they did everything like shit. Like what?
Yeah, that's what you were telling me, because I kept on telling you, okay, do this, do that, and they were still on you. Now listen to what he said, people. He just said the court did not allow officers' body camera as evidence in court because it was exculpatory evidence, which means it was favorable to him. When have you heard that an officer's body camera footage is not allowed in court? It's an objective narrative. It's like the judge was right there. It's a video showing exactly what was said and done if the judge was standing right there from that perspective. So why did he give you a reason on why it would not be let in?
It just was. I brought up a couple different arguments of why we should watch the body cam footage, and no, he didn't give any reasoning. Just like now.
And what was the state doing? Was the state objecting and trying to not get it shown?
Oh yeah. She completely objected. Like, oh, like first, I would say, reason being, it shows you our positioning. It shows you there's the park down there. First of all, I'm not in the park. It shows you exactly where we're at. I'm not in the park. All right. No. You can't use it for that reason, blah, 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 because we know where you're at. So, but how are you calling this a park? Like, dude, trust me.
But you were recording too.
Yeah.
And did you try to get that footage in?
I tried, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't credible evidence. There's no chain of command on your own footage, so I could have edited video, and he allowed. Now I had a lot of evidence that I wanted to submit. I had Google Maps showing where we were. I wanted to make sure that he knew where we were, and there was no ifs, ands, or buts, right?
Yeah.
He didn't want to allow some of it. He said, beyond my better judgment, I'm going to allow this, and I'm going to assume that the maps are from Google and that they're correct, even though they're dated and it tells you it wasn't credible evidence. Nothing I could give them was credible.
Yeah, even though the chain of custody involving his body camera never went through you, even though it is meticulously done so that they can't interfere or fool with the body camera footage. The body camera footage is meant to be there for court. That's why we're paying for it. But when it's not in the police's favor or the government's favor, all of a sudden it's not allowed. That is unbelievable. That's another wrinkle in the story, Joe. That's unbelievable.
I don't understand why, other than that it's a money machine and they're trying to get my money. I don't think it's a personal attack on everybody's trying to attack me in this situation.
No.
They hate me. I just think they want money. They need money, and they can do it, so they do it.
So, Joe, what was it? Because I remember talking to you after the first court date, and we were both really excited. Like, dude, you're going to get this. There's no way you can lose. Because even the officer, when you guys watch it, even the officer says, he first tries to say it's a park. But Joe's smarter than that. He goes, no, this is a road. He goes, yeah, it's a township road that leads to the park. Okay, well, then it's not the park if it's a road that leads to a township road, a village road, a city road. Whatever you're in, that's that road, a public road. So what happened at the first court date that got you very, because I remember we emailed after that, and you're like, you heard something that somebody said that they're not letting this go and they're taking it to the. Do you remember that far back?
Well, when I went to the first court date, okay, so here's how it goes. You go into court, right, and everybody lines up on the left-hand wall, right? You stand in this line, and it leads to this room where the prosecutor and the lieutenant chief of police are, and they talk to the defendant about a possible plea deal, right? So everybody talks to the prosecutor first. and the lieutenant chief's there. So me and my son come up. It's your turn. I come in. The prosecutor pulls the paper. You were in a park after hours, and all of a sudden the lieutenant chief was like, "Oh, that's you." No deals. He was uncooperative. He was mad. He's uncooperative. This guy, nope. Either you plead guilty or not guilty. And she looks at me like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "Not guilty."
Yeah.
She goes, "Okay, we'll schedule a trial."
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually emailed the lieutenant chief of police after that, was like, "Man, you seem mad about something that didn't seem true. I want to see what's up here." And of course, he emailed me back, and, he was nice. And at that point, he was mad because he had so many people call, and he had to take a lot of phone calls after that video was put out. And
What
he
time?
thought the lieutenant chief of police thought that I took the body cam footage that I requested it, and I'm the one that posted it to YouTube. He thought that was my YouTube video. So when that happened, he was getting a lot of, "It's not looking good. It's not looking good for you." I'm like, "I didn't call you and threaten you, dude." He goes, "No, but you put the video out there." It's like, "So what? So what if I put your goddamn body cam video out there? What do you mean? What's there to hide, dude? Why? What do you care?"
Yeah. But you did.
Why?
It was on Real World Police.
So I told him, "I'm not the one." He goes, "You weren't the one? So how did they get the ticket?" I said, I FOIA requested it. Dude, I requested the body cam, the ticket, front and back. Go read the FOIA request. You didn't read it yet? That's how they got the ticket. They got it in the FOIA request. So why did you guys release the ticket? That your bag, not mine. They weren't supposed to do that. But he thought it, because I'm the one that requested it, I wouldn't give anybody that information. Because it's got all my info on there. Wrong answer, because I don't care. I don't care. So he automatically assumed it was me, and I was trying to hurt the police at that point. I was trying to make them look bad, which to me is, you're proving guilt, dude. I'm not trying to make you look bad. It's a video.
Yeah. I got it now.
Video. You don't have to
I
listen.
understand. Real World Police has a way, whenever FOIA requests get fulfilled, that they also get a copy of that body camera footage. That's how they always have the body camera footage first. I don't know how I could figure it out if I sat down and looked. So when your body camera footage got released, they looked at it and they said, "This is juicy enough to make good content." So it wasn't, I thought the whole time that they were in cahoots with Real World Police and they gave them the body camera footage.
They were mad at him. And if I hadn't been smart and contacted the court just to make sure, I was wondering if my son has a ticket, that he has to show up for court for. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's weird. He didn't get it. And even after notifying the court several times of an address change, we still never received summons, for the second court date, for the third court date. I received mine. He still never.
Why does he need the social security number?
Because they need the social security number. And here's another thing about the whole thing. He wanted to put me into their database. Yeah. The only people they have in their database is if you have to have a driver's license number attached to it. He was trying to find my driver's license number.
Yeah.
Without that, he can't go. In New Jersey, they have a database where they can type in your driver's license number, and the cops can make notes. I pulled this guy over. He smelled like weed. I swear he had it on him. I didn't get him this time. Keep an eye out. Whatever notes they're making, they make notes. I've read them before. I've gone up to the cop car and seen them in their computer. So Joe, I know it's true.
You were the first person I ever saw launch a drone. Something happened in your neighborhood where there was a ton of cops in your neighborhood. And it was blocked off. And you launched a drone to go over the area and videotape. And this is like, I had never saw this. Drones were new to me. I'm like, this is ingenious. Like, this guy is awesome. He's literally got for lack of better words, his own news helicopter up there over the scene that he can't get into. What happened?
At the time, I was doing independent for news stations. Fox used to have a program for independents where it was real easy for me to get a job. Like assignments were like endless. You just like, it's like Uber. You click, I'll take that assignment, or you could come up with your own. So I I had a backpack with my cameras and my drone, my little Mavic, right? Always on me. And at the time, that's what I was doing. It so happened that I didn't go to that. It came to me. This is my world. Everything's coming to me. And I'm like, I got my drone. Let's do this. I got my camera. It happened and I was there.
You said like a car service and you want to take it. What would be a normal thing on there?
The police, the fallen police, something. They have like a motorcycle ride that goes through New Jersey. It's known around here. They go all the way down to 95 and through towns, and it's called like the Fallen Officers Project or something like that. That came up one time, and it so happens to come through my town. I picked that one up. They would be like, oh, car accident, major, tractor trailer flipped, and there was a dump truck turned, and so-and-so, and we just and normally it would list like the criteria to take the job, 3 to 5 quality pictures, and it would tell you the angles they wanted, or it might say no pictures, video only. Unfortunately, they suspended the service for independents, and it's a lot harder.
So anybody that wants to say the First Amendment does not belong to us as far as media, there you go. The same stories that Fox News is looking for is the same stories that most of us on YouTube are doing. I'm at accident sites. I'm at places of public interest, right? I'm not just videotaping a tree.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Joe, what's the name of your company? Do you have more than one company? What's the main company? And
Sneaker Pickers is right now, it's the main company that I pretty much have anything to do with. I actually had previously to this, I had a really successful company that unfortunately due to regulation, we went under. And then I kind of was like, what am I going to do? I went from literally overnight, I went from a nice 6-figure job to zero money, no paycheck. I mean, I can't complain. Like I made a lot of money, so I can't, can't say, woe is me. So now I'm just doing some other things that I was into already. Keeping my e-commerce going that I've always been into.
Yeah.
Honestly, Sneaker Pickers is my thing, but it's not, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just fishing around.
Guys, he is the real deal. He's not giving himself enough credit. He's got like the Jordans, and because there's industry, there's a club, a group of people that are called sneakerheads that are really, really, really into buying and selling sneakers. I've seen sneaker pawn shops in which you go and pawn your sneakers.
Chicago's the mecca for it. I almost wish I lived in Chicago just because of that. Yeah.
I would have thought New York and New Jersey, but guys, he takes the sneakers, so he'll take a $200 pair of Jordans, like real Jordans, the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, like ones he wore in game, and he gets an airbrush out and he starts stenciling like, I think you did SpongeBob one time on it. I don't want to say what you did, but you do this awesome artwork, and now these are custom sneakers. He really is an artist. It's unbelievable what he does. Yeah.
Look, you call me. I don't care what you call me, really, honestly. I don't consider myself to be an auditor. Will I do it? Yeah, I'll go out and do. I shoot anything. I don't care.
Yeah.
And there's some situations. There's just some people that, of course, I don't really like on YouTube. I don't like the way they do it. You know what I mean? But so I don't follow them. I don't watch them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the one thing about with that label, auditor. They think because they call me an auditor, anybody else that has that label, me and them are the same. There's people I have absolutely nothing in common with. I would never do what they did. Like, people do whatever they want. I've never been inside a library. I've never been inside a post office. Just something I wouldn't do. Now, those are very little differences, but there's some people that I hear them talk. I'm like, dude, I would never say that to somebody. Like, that's completely rude. Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, like, people understand honesty. There's something about when you're being honest that it touches somebody. It touches them in their subconscious. They're like this, you know, regardless of what they say in the comments, like, they know police aren't always wrong. Now, is it a systemic problem? Is the system broken? Yes.
If you're the person that says, well, you should have just handed over your ID and not said anything, nothing against you, but that's not me. Like, if you're going to do that, I understand why you do it. I get it. Like, I get it. I understand. Doesn't make you a lesser person, you better than me. Doesn't, none of that. It's just like, you have to keep that in mind, because this is what happens. This is just how it is. It's just how it is.
So, Joe, what do you want? Anything else going on? Sneaker.
Oh,
and what else you got?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Well, I do graphic arts too, and I've been selling T-shirts. Respect my flag. Let's see. Can you see? I don't see myself on the screen.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And anything you want to get in contact with him, it'll be in the email. It'll be in the description.
We have press passes here that it's a novelty thing. It doesn't come from a company, but this is worth just as much as, to me, it's worth just as much as what value anybody else wants to give it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, it's a good sign to have on your body when you're out actually being the press and being the media.
Yeah.
So people know they don't have to come bother you. Oh, you know, if they're a respectful and polite person, they're not going to bother you until they get a good opportunity. And, you know, they're not going to come up with your camera. What are you doing? You know, ruining whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah. So wait, and you sell that on Sneaker Pickers?
No, thepatriottender.com.
Okay. I'm going to have all.
It's just eBay.
I'm going to put all that in the link in the description. I'm going to buy one of those because.
Actually, I was going to say, I have a couple I can send you.
And, if you send me those, I'll send you some of the decals. I'll send you a whole bunch of the decals.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So anything, and he does a lot in e-commerce, and Joe's a good guy. So he's not, I mean, everybody makes money on no one's selling stuff for free, but I can tell you without even looking, Joe's not ripping people off, and he cares very much about his products. So go on Sneaker Pickers. There's basically sneakers.
Yeah, I put my custom sneakers on there. Then I sell some other sneakers. Supreme is a big thing for me. I resell a lot of Supreme. I have Etsy and Mercari. I do artwork and all sorts of stuff. But
just go there and look at that website. But anything else he has, I'm going to put it all in the description. Guys, check it out. Check out Joe's channel. He is my
YouTube channel is joekyser.com. I'll bring it right to my YouTube channel.
Joe Kyser, JoeKyser, Joe Kyser, and that's his YouTube channel. My man, thank you for stopping in and talking to us, Joe.
Yeah, man, thank you very much. It was good. Nice seeing you. Nice talking to you.